Okay, that was not my last video. This right here will probably be uh, my last video on Goat Scriptures there, depending on how bad or how draconian the YouTube ID verification is. And remember, the boycott is tomorrow, August 13th to August 22nd. Do not use YouTube. Use alternatives, not even through the Gray J app. Just watch Rumble or Odyssey. Watch some other social media platform. Watch some other video hosting service or creator content creator service. So what I'm going to do is my final act of love and my final gift to all you amazing subscribers who watch my channel. This is going to be a little bit of a tech video. We're going to be talking about the sensors off for Android phones, what it is, how it works, how to enable it, and I'm going to show you it in action. Now, doing research for this video there, I have seen this. There's been many other videos there, security, Torres has said, 15 settings or blah, 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 20 security settings you must disable right now. There, I learned it from one of these videos, and I've had this for like maybe 2 or 3 months right now. So basically how this works is most Android phones, every smartphone today has like a billion different sensors. It's got cameras, microphones, it's got GPSs in there, it's got fucking accelerometers, which is basically a shake detection, and that's what allows you to turn your screen. So you have this, that's what allows you to turn your screen around, and that's also how your pedometer and your GPS and like Google Maps work off similar technology. So basically what this does and why you might be interested in it and why you might want to do it is because you unlock this developer option, it will shut all those fucking sensors off, and these motherfuckers who absolutely hate you and despise you and hate this country and just hate humanity in general, they will not be able to track your movements. They will not be able to watch you. They will not be able to track your movements. So, now I already have developer options enabled. So when you do, with your pull down, swipe down menu, your quick actions, the Bluetooth, I have it on airplane mode right now. Power saver enabled, but it looks like this. It looks like a sine wave with a cancel through it. Sensors off. I know it looks really blurry, but that's what it looks like. Sensors off. So what you're gonna do to enable that? If you have Android or Samsung or whatever, I don't know if iPhone has something similar to that. And if you're an iPhone user, you have my sympathy, and I feel very sorry for you because Apple is a bullshit lockdown device and does not have even half the developer options that Android has. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom like this, and you're gonna hit About Phone. And depending on your screen should look something like this. I hate bright white interfaces. I like dark interfaces, so that's why mine is dark. But you're going to see something like this there, and you're going to want to tap on software information. So open up that tab, and you're going to find something that looks like this. And then you're going to tap on either the kernel version or the build number 7 times until you unlock developer options. So Yep, developer mode has already been turned on. Developer mode has already been turned on. So yeah, you're going to tap on the build number. And again, that's under About Phone. If you have a Samsung, they're all pretty much going to be the same. So you want fucking About Phone, software information. So now that we have developer options, see a new menu pop all the way down at the bottom, developer options. Open that. And you're going to see a fuck ton of like new security settings and like settings that you didn't have access to before. Show taps. You may have to scroll for a little bit, and some of these options are subfolders that if you press them, it'll open up more options in there. Someone who's like a 30-year-old boomer like me, there who grew up on like Windows XP and just used like the bare bones like Windows XP in like school. I'm still not that great at phones, so I get lost. I get lost in developer options. I get lost in these settings very easily. But basically, what you're going to do is you're going to keep scrolling. You're going to fuck with these settings there. I can put in the description there. I'm cooked. I worked a 12-hour today. I've been up since like 5 this morning. And it's like 11:04 right now for me. My brains are completely cooked. But you're going to find developer options. And what this does is when you enable it, when you find the sensors off, what it disables your mic and camera, it disables your GPS, it disables your fucking accelerometer, it disables every single sensor. So if you really want to go off the fucking grid and disappear off the grid, there it's going to cut off the spine. It's going to cut off everything. Now, see that top right corner? You see that wave? That that wave frequency symbol with the line going through it, that means that is currently on. So when you have this activated, here's what it does. You will not be able to use your camera. See, security policy restricts use of camera. This is the coolest fucking shit ever. So what I like about this is it saves me a ton of battery. Like I when I started using this, like but before I started using this, my phone battery would get ate up. That's because your cameras and your mics are secretly recording you, your GPSs is secretly tracking you, and all this fucking shit. So what that means when you turn that off, you're using less resources. You're not using the camera. You're not using the microphone. You're not using that. And it saved me so much battery. Like my phone would be like down to like almost nothing by the end of the day. But ever since I started using sensors off, like my battery consumption has been like reduced by 50%. Like if I don't go anywhere, I don't make calls, I don't have social media open, if I have nothing open, no tabs, no background shit running, this phone uses like no fucking battery. Now I'm gonna show you in real time this working. So this is the Sound Recorder Plus. It has me permission to use audio only this time. Recording started. Hello, hello, hello. And look at that. Normally there's some kind of like wave, there's some kind of wave or some like, visualizer on the screen that's showing it's recording. It's not recording anything. So I'm going to hit stop. Saved recordings. My recording 2.mp3 21 seconds. And look at that. There's no audio whatsoever. My recording 1.mp3. That was from yesterday. I tried to make a video and then I realized I had sensors off and it didn't even fucking capture it. See absolutely nothing. There's no data on there. I'm going to show you one more time. So, this is sensors off. I took it off now. Now my camera opens. Now I can open up my camera. Check this out. So sensors off is off. Enable sensors off. I have my camera currently opened. Security policy restricts use of camera. Restricts use of camera. And it'll block your microphone. It'll block everything. In fact, you won't even be able to use. You won't even be able to make WhatsApp or Facebook calls because I have done it before and I forgot that I had this still on. I forgot that I still had my mic off, and they're like, "Hello, hello, hello. Are you there? I can't hear you. I can't fucking hear you." And then I have to like swipe down, and I have to swipe down the screen. And I have to turn this off before they hang up on me. So like this does fucking work. The only thing it doesn't cut off is your regular telephone. So you will be able to use your regular telephone. The app, your actually onboard telephone, you will still be able to make calls and texts. However, anything that relies on your camera or mic like Facebook or WhatsApp, that's going to be blocked out. Your accelerometer is going to be blocked out. Your GPS location tracker is going to be blocked out. It's really fucking cool. So if you value your privacy, go enable developer options, and I'll show you one more time. Developer options, hit that tiny gear. About phone, all the way at the bottom. If you have an Android, if you have a Samsung, it's mostly going to look the same. Nokia, LG, other brands, the menus may look a little different. But most Android phones, especially Samsung, definitely has this option. Now, not all Androids are going to have this functionality. So, about phone, software information, build number, and it says that I already have developer options enabled. Developer options. I'll have to put this in the description there, the actual the file pathway. But one of these should be sensors off, and once you do it, you will see a new button available in your quick menu. In your quick menu, see I have take screenshot, I have Wi-Fi enabled or disabled, I have my flashlight, I have my song search, I have mobile data on and off. That's always off because my plan doesn't have mobile data. I just do the bare bones talk and text. Hotspot, iComfort Shield, battery saver, location. You know, I should have location turned off. Okay, so I have location, do not disturb, no location access, close. I don't want location access. So play around with it. Play around with your dev options. It's fucking there. It's totally there. And like I said, the world is getting scarier and scarier and more dystopian and more Orwellian at the minute, especially with fucking Project 2025 being steamrolled at 100 miles an hour, and nobody is resisting it. No one is speaking out against it. No one is stopping it there. And with the fucking collective shark censorship of the video games and potentially losing the internet there to the fucking Kids Online Safety Act, you're going to want to have this. You're going to want to have these settings. You're going to turn these settings off now. You're going to want to turn these fucking settings off now so these fuckers can't listen to you. So these fuckers can't get you. Your silence is your silence is consent, and you not doing anything, you just standing by, and you not showing this to your friends and family, you're being complicit in this fucking evil shit. You're being complicit in it. Also, another thing you do, there's something called Permission Manager, and what that does is it shows you all the apps. It shows you Permission Manager. Now, this is a little bit harder to find. So you see this little search. Use this little magnifying glass search bar. Press on that. You're going to see a menu. You're going to see a keyboard come up, and just type in Permission Manager. Permission Manager. Press that. And this tells you only one app has access to my camera, and that's my camera. 3 apps have access to my microphone, and that is obviously my camera, my phone, my WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger. And then 0 apps have my location. So, and then you're going to press this button. Permission uses, get started. And context. And you'll be scared. It is so scary when you see how many apps have access to your contacts, how many have access to your SMS, how many apps and shit have, like, even the calculator, like, even the fucking calculator, the onboard fucking calculator has, like, access to your fucking microphone and your GPS. It's a fucking calculator. Like, who are these fuckers? They're spying on you through your fucking calculator on there? Like, this is some scary fucking shit. But this will show you what is using your contacts, accessing your phone, what is accessing your mics and cameras, what is accessing your contacts. Go in there and change all that shit right fucking now. Okay? Stay wild and crazy, my crazy friends. This is Goat Scripture signing the fuck off now. We still have time. We can still save this country. We can still save the internet. Just let your voice be heard. And remember, if things really do go to shit there, I got a counter plan there. I got a counter plan that's completely peaceful, does not involve bullshit, trouble making, violence of any kind. Just put on your angry go away face and just lock down the system. Just lock down, you know. If it gets that bad, we'll have another Freedom Truckers. You know, if it gets that bad, everybody just stay home for a week. Don't go to work. Don't use PayPal. Don't use the internet. And these motherfuckers are going to feel it. These motherfuckers are going to feel it. Okay? We don't need them. We don't need their fucking matrix. We don't need their fucking control system. They need us. They need us. And remember, give yourself permission to be authentic. Fuck them and fuck their permission and fuck their approval. Be unapologetic in everything that you fucking do. Hails.
Well, you spoke several times before about ideological subversion. That is a phrase that I'm afraid some Americans don't fully understand. When the Soviets used the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the process which is legitimate, overt, and open. You can see it with your own eyes. All you have to do, all American mass media has to do, is to unplug their bananas from their ears, open up their eyes, and they can see it. There is no mystery. There is nothing to do with espionage. I know that espionage intelligence gathering looks more romantic. It sells more deodorants through the advertising, probably. That's why your Hollywood producers are so crazy about James Bond type of thrillers. But in reality, the main emphasis of the KGB is not in the area of intelligence at all. According to my opinion and opinion of many defectors of my caliber, only about 15% of time, money and manpower is spent on espionage as such. The other 85% is a slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of Americanism, American patriotism. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them. They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change the basic perception and the logic of behavior. In other words, these people, the process of demoralization is complete and irreversible. To get rid society of these people, you need another 20 or 15 years to educate a new generation of patriotically minded and common sense people who would be acting in favor and in the interests of the United States society.
And yet these people who've been programmed and, as you say, in place and
Yes.
who are favorable to an opening with the Soviet concept, these are the very people who would be marked for extermination in this country?
Most of them, yes. Simply because the psychological shock when they will see in future what the beautiful society of equality and social justice means in practice, obviously they will revolt. They will be very unhappy, frustrated people. And the Marxist-Leninist regime does not tolerate these people. Obviously they will join the links of dissenters, dissidents.
Yes.
Unlike in present United States, there will be no place for dissent in future Marxist-Leninist America. Here you can get popular like Daniel Ellsberg and filthy rich like Jane Fonda for being dissident, for criticizing your Pentagon. In future, these people will be simply squashed like cockroaches. Nobody is going to pay them nothing for their beautiful, noble ideas of equality. This they don't understand, and it will be greatest shock for them, of course. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25 years. Actually, it's overfulfilled, because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it. until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes his, then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization. So basically America is stuck with demoralization, and unless, even if you start right now, here, this minute, you start educating new generation of Americans, it will still take you 15 to 20 years to turn the tide of ideological perception of reality back to normalcy and patriotism. The next stage is destabilization. This time, subverter does not care about your ideas and the patterns of your consumption. Whether you eat junk food and get fat and flabby, it doesn't matter anymore. This time, and it takes only from 2 to 5 years to destabilize a nation, what matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. And you can see it quite clearly that in some areas, in such sensitive areas as defense and economy, the influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic. I could never believe it 14 years ago when I landed in this part of the world that the process will go that fast. The next stage, of course, is crisis. It may take only up to 6 weeks to bring a country to the verge of crisis. You can see it in Central America now. And after crisis, with a violent change of power, structure, and economy, you have so-called the period of normalization. It may last indefinitely. Normalization is a cynical expression borrowed from Soviet propaganda. When the Soviet tanks moved into Czechoslovakia in '68, Comrade Brezhnev said, "Now the situation in brotherly Czechoslovakia is normalized." This is what will happen in the United States if you allow all these schmucks to bring the country to crisis, to promise people all kind of goodies and the paradise on earth, to destabilize your economy, to eliminate the principle of free market competition, and to put a big brother government in Washington, D.C., with benevolent dictators like Walter Mondale, who will promise lots of things, never mind whether the promises are fulfillable or not. He will go to Moscow to kiss the bottoms of new generation of Soviet assassins. Never mind. He will create false illusions that the situation is under control. Situation is not under control. Situation is disgustingly out of control. Most of the American politicians, media, and educational system trains another generation of people who think they are living at a peacetime. False. The United States is in the state of war, undeclared total war against the basic principles and the foundations of this system. And the initiator of this war is not Comrade Andropov, of course. It's the system. However ridiculous it may sound, the world communist system or the world communist conspiracy, whether I scare some people or not, I don't give a hoot. If you are not scared by now, nothing can scare you. But you don't have to be paranoid about it. What actually happens now, that unlike myself, you have literally several years to live on unless the United States wake up. The time bomb is ticking. With every second, the disaster is coming closer and closer. Unlike myself, you will have nowhere to defect to, unless you want to live in Antarctica with penguins. This is it. This is the last country of freedom and possibility.
Okay, so what do we do? What is your recommendation to the American people?
Well, the immediate thing that comes to my mind is, of course, there must be a very strong national effort to educate people in the spirit of real patriotism, number one. Number two, to explain them the real danger of socialist, communist, whatever, welfare state, big brother government. If people will fail to grasp the impending danger of that development, nothing ever can help United States. You may kiss goodbye to your freedom, including freedoms to homosexuals, to prison inmate. All this freedom will vanish, evaporate in 5 seconds, including your precious lives. The second thing, the moment at least part of United States population is convinced that the danger is real. They have to force their government. And I'm not talking about sending letters, signing petitions, and all this beautiful, noble activity. I'm talking about forcing United States government to stop aiding communism. Because there is no other problem more burning and urgent than to stop the Soviet military-industrial complex from destroying whatever is left of the free world. And it is very easy to do. No credits, no technology, no money, no political or diplomatic recognition, and of course no such idiocy as grain deals to USSR. The Soviet people, 270 millions of Soviets, will be eternally thankful to you if you stop aiding a bunch of murderers who sit now in Kremlin and whom President Reagan respectfully calls government. They do not govern anything, least of all such complexity as the Soviet economy. So basic, two very simple, maybe too simplistic answers or solutions, but nevertheless they are the only solutions. Educate yourself, understand what's going on around you. You are not living at the time of peace. You are in a state of war, and you have precious little time to save yourself. You don't have much time, especially if you are talking about young generation. There's not much time left for convulsions to the beautiful disco music. Very soon it will go, just overnight. If we are talking about capitalists or wealthy businessmen, I think they are selling the rope on which they will hang very soon. If they don't stop, if they cannot curb their unsettled desire for profit, and if they keep on trading with the monster of the Soviet communism, they are going to hang very soon. And they will pray to be killed, but unfortunately they will be sent to Alaska probably to manage industry of slaves. It's simplistic. I know it sounds unpleasant. I know Americans don't like to listen to things which are unpleasant. But I have defected not to tell you the stories about such idiocy as microfilm, James Bond type espionage. This is garbage. You don't need any espionage anymore. I have come to talk about survival. It's a question of survival of this system. You may ask me, what is it in for me? Survival, obviously, because unlike, as I said, I am now in your boat. If we sing together, we'll sing beautifully together. There is no other place on this planet to defect to.
The America Truckers Freedom Convoy passed through Acadiana this weekend. Hundreds of truckers are driving together to Washington, D.C. to protest federal COVID vaccine and mask mandates. A large group gathered at the Harley-Davidson shop in Scott on Saturday to show their support as the convoy passed by on I-10. This convoy started in California just a few days ago, and they are scheduled to arrive in Washington, D.C. today.